OSI layer. Okay, so we'll finish the OS layer today. So next class I will tell about IP address. Otherwise, yeah, if I'm in home, I can complete IP address also today, but no. Understand OSI layer, it will always important layers. Okay, so guys, in before going to OSI layer also, I'm going to tell few things I want to tell. No. I will go to OSI layer pure plainly. Okay. So what is OSI? Open System Interconnect. What is OSI? Open System Interconnect. As some textbooks, some lecturers, not trainers, some lecturers tell we don't use OSI layer. That is right. Okay. We don't use OSI layer. We use TCP IP layer only. Some people will tell we don't use OSI layer because only big companies will use. Only some companies use OSI layer. Remaining people don't use OSI layer. That is wrong. No one is using OSI layer. But we are learning OSI layer for understand the network, understand and troubleshoot or create a new network. OSI layer is helpful. It is a reference model. Meaning is like a reference arc. It is a reference model. Okay, it is a reference model. Like a reference textbook. We don't buy a reference textbook. We go to library. We go through the reference textbooks for learning purpose, right? It's a reference model. It is. It contains 7 layers. It contains 7 layers. So OSI model used to create and troubleshoot or understand the network functions. Okay. So OSI is standardized by ISO, means International Organization for Standardization. And IEEE, there is a names will come up like IEEE 802. 802.3 means Ethernet. 802.11 means it is a wireless network. Guys, also some names I am adding here. IANA, ICANN. Okay. IANA, ICANN. These are two organizations controls our IP addresses. The name registration is there, no domain name registration, website name registrations are there, no? The domain name registrations, IP addresses, mainly public IP addresses, are controlled by IANA, ICANN. Internet Engineering Task Force. This is another group also involves in this internet purpose. But OSI is related to this one. Okay. So you can find what are those things. Also try. I don't tell. I am going to these 7 layers. What are these 7 layers? We'll discuss layer by layer also. Before going to all layers, we have to discuss about about protocols and port numbers also. Okay, so it is a lengthy class, guys. So please keep your mind here. Try to keep your mind here. That's the point, guys. It is contains 7 layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. I have a hobby of reading these layers like this only. Okay. Certain textbooks, some trainers or lecturers tell in a reverse order, means physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. Okay, so what is this kind of stuff? Which is correct? Which is correct? First of all, application to physical layer to application layer, which is correct? Both are correct, guys. Both are correct. Okay, so no differences. Both are correct. Because of layer 1 is a physical layer 7 is an application layer. As per the layer numbers, physical to application layer. So in a both orders, data packets will travel. Of course, so it's a little different ways there. So the like send and receive type. Like I'm sending a packet where I'm sending some data. Application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. For example, I am receiving a data. Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. So that's why both ways are correct. Only important is do not interchange these layers. Do not interchange these layers. Some people will tell like a application layer, physical layer, session layer, transport layer, presentation layer, data link layer, and some session layer like that. They'll mix it. Don't mix it, guys. How to remember all the 7 layers? By heart it. Okay, keep reading 2-3 times or maybe 10 times, 20 times. Read it and start speaking. So if anyone like you are called to your friend, then tell all the 7 layers. So like that only you can able to remember. I can able to remember in a both orders because of I am teaching, and also I will practice. I practiced a lot, so I can able to tell. Same way, keep practicing. Guys, these first 3 layers is called upper layers or top layers, and software layers it is. The bottom 3 layers are a hardware layers. The middle one, the fourth one is end-to-end connectivity, heart of OSI layer, that is our transport layer. Okay. So here is the smallest thing that is about your protocols and the port numbers. What is the protocol? Before this is the protocol, port number is also a part of your OSI layers, but I am telling out of that one. So what is a protocol? What is protocol? To communicate in the network. Okay, so you are send a request. So in communication, you want to send a request. An example, you want a web page. You want to access a web page from web server. What is your request? HTTP request. So server understand your request is HTTP request and give the web page. You send a SMTP request to the web server will drop the packet because of you have to send HTTP request per web page, and it is only web server type only. It does not understand other protocols. There is a mail server, you want to access a mail, like either you want to send a mail or receive a mail. We use SMTP, POP3, IMAP protocols for sending and receiving emails. Okay, you want to upload a file or download a file, you will give FTP request and you will get a FTP response. Look at here, guys. So this is very simple to understand. What is the use of these protocols? It will define what is the communication between your server and a client. What type of communication? what type of request between server and a client. For example, this is a server A. For example, it is a kind of web server. Okay, I'm a client. So mine is PC. What I will do, I send a request. That is my HTTP request. I'm sending a HTTP request to the web server. I send a HTTP request to my web server. I want a web page. So web server understand what is your request. Web server understand what is your request. Okay, it will give a HTTP response. It will give you a HTTP response. Okay, it will give you a web page. It will give you a web page to you. Okay, it will send a web page or a certain response to you. So this is your request. This is my response. How our web server understand what is your request? By protocol only. By protocol only. So the same way. Okay, so based on what is a client request, what is server, what is client, what is their protocols and their what is the based on the protocol they will understand. So understand what is request from server from client, the server will understand. It defines what type of communication it is. It is a web related or file related or maybe mail related communication, time synchronization, authentication, remote access, remote desktop. So what kind of communication it is, it will understand by this protocols only. Okay, so servers clients will communicate and understand by protocols and their port numbers only. Okay, so here it is port number 80. It is a protocol and their port numbers. Protocols, there is a different type of protocols are there. Some are protocols I listed here. Some protocols I listed here. What happened to this? This is not a table, right? Okay. Okay. So what is this port number? Sorry, different protocols are there. I listed some of the protocols which is more useful in a network kind of stuff. Okay. So mostly we use this kind of protocols. Next one. What is these port numbers? Port numbers, there is a protocols and there is a port numbers are reserved for this particular protocols. Okay, there is a certain port numbers are reserved for these protocols which represent the numerical representation of protocols. It is a numerical representation of protocol which is easily understood by your network. So like that. Okay, HTTP and HTTPS, both protocols are used for web communication. website communication. What is HTTPS? Okay, HTTPS, hypertext transmission
So,
protocol. HTTPS, S represent secure or SSL or TLS. Using SSL or TLS, we encrypt the data. So whatever the data you are transmitting with HTTP, so data is not encrypted. So it is maybe some people can catch your data. Maybe there is a people if they try to catch your data, they will understand what is your data you are transmitting or receiving. Okay. HTTPS, what are the data you are transmitting? Data is in encrypted, so no one knows what is the data you are transmitting. You know, end-to-end encryption, WhatsApp, end-to-end encryption,
yes, sir.
right? What is the meaning? So in your mobile, you can see the text message or picture message or video, you can see, you can look at that one. And if you send that message to anyone, okay, you can see
Yes,
the
sir.
message from your end and the receiver, but in
Your
between
end.
that is encrypted.
So we are currently using the HTTPS, sir.
Yes, most of the websites are, almost all websites except one or two, maximum we are using HTTPS websites only. For example, this is Amazon.in. See, it is HTTPS only. Even a small website, it is w3schools.com. It's just data only, not even a serious material, login materials. Of course, there are putting login free website. So it is also HTTPS. Earlier days, it is only for banking websites because bank is a internet banking, more sensitive data we are transmitting, right? But so almost next mail accounts, then social media, then generally almost all. Even the most of the illegal websites also in HTTPS format. Why? Because a government or a any organization they don't want to catch up what data they are transmitting, so they are also using HTTPS. Okay,
So
so
encryption means data have highly secured. Like they have sent a
yes,
code with they have sent the message with the code,
yeah,
public or private code like that.
yeah, right. HTTPS means data is encrypted. Means if you read the data, you if you are trying to read the data, you cannot read it because all are some symbols, letters. So it is completely very difficult to read the data. Even you put a hello.
And sir, what is example of HTTP site?
I'll show you very small example. MD5. MD5 decrypt or encrypt, decrypt part is there. This is some message I have already, I think I done. The meaning is hello. Okay, same thing I'll do. MD5 is a small one, so it is not big deal. MD5 generator or encryption. So I'm trying to make you understand what is the encryption. So I am using my name. So I'm typing my name while through HTTPS it will be encrypted, but not MD5. It is SSL or TLS type of encryption. It is high level encryption. So it is a original is Latif. So this is the encrypted format. Okay, can you understand using this one? What is the name? Okay, this is HA1 hash. It is much difficult than MD5. MD5s are very easy currently. Okay, decrypt. Okay, I got my name. Okay, so
So basically we need like a private or public key, sir, for encryption or decryption?
We need a key. Actually, normally any encryption, they need a private and public key. But here they use a certificate. Public certificate is there. SSL certificate using that settings. So other time synchronizations, session IDs, okay, session IDs. So they encrypt this data. So
Sir, is
then
there any site which use HTTP only?
it was there earlier, but I forget those things.
Okay.
Okay, only HTTP sites also there. Okay. Currently, all my local websites also down, so I can't able to show you that one. This is Putty app. SSH is encryption, Telnet is not encryption. This is I can even that is also not available now. I can show you, but this is not a time. Local websites are there, so we can try with the HTTP part for data you are transmitting, or if you have any SSH telnet kind of stuff. Okay, so FTP guys, file transfer protocol, you can upload and download a file using FTP. You want to secure over the FTP, then again SFTP, VSFTP also they are using to secure your FTP data transmission. SSH, Telnet and RDP. Three are related to remote access, but SSH and Telnet is CLI based remote access. Means command line interface based access. I have a remote server, SSH server is there. I want to access the remote server, and so then I can able to interact with the server kind of stuff. So I can use SSH, secure shell, SSH, secure shell. The data is encrypted using SSL. It is SSH is a secure one. SSH is a by default it is encrypted data transmission. It don't use any other things. It use RSA token for encrypting. You know, you said no private key, public key. So we use in SSH communication. PEM files, public files, private key is there. So in SSH communication. Telnet we don't have that any keys because of in Telnet what are the data you are transmitting or receiving through Telnet connection. Like you have a remote Telnet server, you are connected to a remote machine using Telnet, and you can configure it, you can work with that remote server, remote machine with the Telnet. Okay, but Telnet is data is not encrypted. Whatever the data you are transmitting or receiving, the telnet is not encrypted. SSH is encrypted, telnet is not encryption, no encryption in it. RDP, of course, encryption is there, remote desktop protocol. It is used to access direct desktop environment. So I'm here, there is a remote machine. I want to do certain work in that machine. So I will access entire desktop from my PC using RDP protocol. Okay. Guys, these are not a small thing. In case SAR is teaching only in basic networking, what is the use? Who are using this kind of stuff? Right? We are going to cloud, we are very big pillows. Huh? I'm telling guys, if you don't know SSH and RDP or HTTP, you don't do anything with your cloud also. You know why? For example, you take a AWS cloud EC2 instance, you created a virtual machine with a Windows 10 virtual machine or maybe Windows Server virtual machine. How do you access your Windows Server virtual machine? RDP protocol. You created a AWS Linux virtual machine or CentOS virtual machine or Oracle or a Red Hat Enterprise Linux virtual machine in the AWS or Azure. How you access that virtual machine? SSH protocol. See this? Okay.
Sir, difference between Telnet and RDP, both are as a remote access. Like, acha, okay,
Both
Telnet
are
is remote access.
very good. SSH and Telnet both are CLI based, command line interface, command based. Okay, commands, we are accessing through commands. And now I didn't open any of my Linux servers. Okay, so command based controls. I can use a putty as an application to connect my remote SSH or a telnet part. RDP is a remote desktop. See this desktop environment. For example, you and me are in the same network. You have a certain work in my laptop or my desktop. For example, in my system, you can access my desktop, entire desktop environment, not command line interface. But entire desktop you can able to access. Okay, that is RDP, remote desktop protocol. SMTP, POP3, and IMAP. These three protocols we use at a mail communication. SMTP for sending mails. Okay, SMTP are used for sending mails. It is outgoing mail server. POP3 and IMAP for a retrieving mails or a incoming mail kind of stuff. When we are sending a mail, we use SMTP protocol. To retrieve a mail, either you can use IMAP version 4 or a POP3. Depends upon the configurations. TFTP, trivial file transfer protocol, used to transfer the data, means upload, download configuration files, remote configuration purpose, remote backup the remote configuration devices kind of stuff. DHCP, DNS, already you know what is DHCP, dynamic host configuration protocol. DHCP server assign IP address to client PCs. So when you are connected to network, you have a Wi-Fi network is there in home, you have a mobile, when you connect it to your Wi-Fi, your mobile got an IP address. Check it, okay? You will get an IP address. How you got an IP address? From DHCP server. In our home, we don't have any separate DHCP servers, right? Our router is act like a DHCP server there, okay? So of course, different DHCP servers like a Windows server DHCP server, Linux based DHCP servers, and router based DHCP servers also there. Okay, what is DHCP? Dynamic host configuration protocol. DHCP server assign an IP address to clients automatically. DNS server. What is DNS? Domain name system. The DNS server gives IP address of a particular host in the domain to the client. For example, I open www.google.com, mail.google.com, learn.microsoft.com, azure.microsoft.com. It is not there, it is azure.com only. docs.microsoft.com, docs.google.com, youtube.com, studio.youtube.com. Guys, www.youtube.com, studio.youtube.com. Guys, these are all names of a different servers or a host. Host means a machine, computer, or a server. It can be anything. Host means it's a general name for a server or a computer or a device kind of stuff. Okay, these are all the hosts in the domain. So when you want to communicate to these servers or domains or a host in the domains, we need their IP addresses. I want a mail.google.com IP address. So then I can able to communicate, right? How it is communicate in your, so last time we check how to check IP address, right? In that one, you can see DNS server IP address. You can see there is a DNS server IP address. So you send a request, automatically system send a request to that DNS server, and DNS server returns IP address of your host or a domain part. Okay, so guys, there is a lot more confusions are there, so I will tell you. For example, I open this w3schools.com. w3schools.com is a domain name, but www.w3schools.com not domain. It is a particular website name. Right? It is the server name, total server name. Okay. This is a website we are calling. This is a website, total website it is, and this is our server, remote server, complete name. It is FQDN, fully qualified domain name. This is our domain name. The .com is top level domain name. Okay. But what is the completely, we call it as URL. We're telling it is a website. Also, we can say it is URL, https://www.w3schools.com is a URL. What is URL? Universal resource locator. So we have to tell this is complete location of our website. So for example, I open something. What is this? This is the page location of the page and the page. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Headers are different, guys. This part can be changeable if it is a different service. It is studio.youtube.com. This is www.youtube.com. Okay, both
Sir,
are
I
under
guess the
.com.
URL is the uniform resource locator.
Uniform
Yes, sir, I guess so.
URL full form, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I forget that one. Yeah, you correct.
Yes, sir.
Uniform resource locator, not universal. Okay. Compulsory check, guys. So that's if you check, then only you can know correctly. Okay. So what it is? It is a page, but it's a total address. See www.youtube.com, studio.youtube.com. So both are different servers, but both are in the same domain. I want a studio.youtube.com IP address to upload or download a video. So what I have to do? In my PC, IP config /all. It is my DNS server address. The request go to this DNS server. My system will send a request to this DNS server. I want an IP address of studio.youtube.com. So then DNS server returns an IP address of studio.youtube.com. Then I will communicate it to this system. That's the point. That is the use of DNS. DHCP, DNS, there is a possibility of questions. POP3, IMAP, POP3, IMAP, where is this? SMTP, POP3, IMAP, these three things. HTTP, HTTPS difference. I hope you understand difference between HTTP and HTTPS difference. Morning for your batch only, I think I told about power set animations. In this one also there is an explanation about HTTP and HTTPS differences are there. Okay, port numbers, ports is there. I don't know what is that one meaning. Try to find from here also. There is a HTTP, HTTPS difference is there as I remember. Ping, VPN, firewalls. See. Try to find from here or you can find it from here. Any explanation, guys, first important is we should understand, we can able to speak about it. One of the important question is HTTP. HTTP is no encryption, HTTPS is encrypted. So data is encrypted, HTTPS secure data transmission from source to destination. HTTP not a secure data transmission because data is not encrypted. Very simple. Yeah, NTP, network time protocol. If you look at this, I'm getting a time and my time is configured with the network time protocol is there. So I will show you that one. So adjust date and time. Okay, so you can see time server. So my date and time is synchronized with the time.windows.com. It is a time server, not web server. It is a time server. This time server synchronized my time as per the time.windows.com. Okay, so that is NTP server. Time server is NTP. So I use NTP protocol to synchronize time with that server to my PC. Kerberos. Kerberos is a authentication protocol. You use Kerberos authentication protocol in a Microsoft Active Directory. LDAP. LDAP is also a authentication protocol. But LDAP is used by Microsoft as well as other people also, because LDAP is more open type protocol, open protocol it is. Okay. SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol. We use this protocol for monitoring purpose. 1 second.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, tell me, Faisal.
Sir, what is the difference between LDAP and Kerberos? When we use Kerberos and when we use LDAP?
Yeah, depends upon the services. Okay, if you are using Linux and Linux to Linux authentication kind of stuff, like a central authentication, generally we use LDAP. Not only LDAP and all, there is a lot of authentication protocols are there. Application to user interfaces like REST API type. Okay, APIs authentications we are using. So LDAP is most like a open protocol used in Linux, Unix kind of stuff. Kerberos is actually not owning by Microsoft, but mostly we use Microsoft Active Directory. We use Kerberos. We don't use Kerberos in other protocols. Yes. Linux to Linux, Linux to Unix. So LDAP is more understandable. Okay. Yeah. Kerberos, mainly we are using Kerberos in Microsoft Active Directory place. We are logging to our Windows 10 system, so mostly it is a Kerberos only. Earlier we used different authentication. That is called NTLM authentication we are using. No Kerberos. In authentication and authorization protocols are there. For example, PAP, Password Authentication Protocol. CHAP, Challenge Handshaking Authentication Protocol. Okay, so these are also important. MS-CHAP version 2. MS-CHAP version 2. Actually, we use that protocol MS-CHAP version 2 in a VPN connectivity time. Okay, so AAA servers are different authentication protocols. Okay, guys, these are the most common protocols we use. Already I told important HTTP, HTTPS differences, and also SMTP, POP3, IMAP. These are the mail communication related. So when you got to mail related like Outlook kind of configurations, SMTP, POP3, IMAP is more common. DHCP, DNS, I explained what is DHCP and DNS. DHCP SN and IP address to the clients. DNS will tell an IP address of a particular host or a particular domain or a particular host in the domain kind of stuff. Okay, so these are the main questions asking protocols. SSH telnet also very common. All are common only. So it's so these are all protocols. Port numbers are we are dealing in a two main areas. One is application area another one is transport layer. Okay, application layer and transport layer. Okay, so I think it is enough for you. I will explain this each and everything later. So what I will do, this is an explanation is there for each and every layer. Explanation is there. If you have a time, you can read it. But I will TCP UDP difference is also important. I will explain all these things, so don't worry. Okay. Only this part I will try to give. The remaining is okay, no problem, not at all big deal. TCP UDP comparison only, just for now. So next class I will try to explain each and every part of OSI layer. So guys, OSI layers, 7 layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer.
Sir, where are you putting, sir, that IP address, sir, in after setting? Which app is this, sir?
IP address, network layer, MAC address, data link layer. Good. In which case? IP address, logical addresses, all logical address, IP address, network layer, MAC address, data link layer. Okay. Encryption happens at presentation layer. So, because of this, we are calling router as a network layer 3 device, switch as a layer 2 device, because of switch understand MAC address, layer 2 device. Router understand IP address and routing information. Okay, IP address and routing part is understood by network layer. That's why we give an example. Router is at a layer 3 device kind of stuff. Okay, this is a TCP IP, guys. It is also called as a earlier DOD. It is a protocol suite. We are all using TCP IP protocol only, and some people think from OSI layer TCP came. Wrong, guys. TCP IP, IPX, SPX, all these are earlier than OSI layer. OSI layer will make you understand the way of communication and troubleshooting in a network. That kind of stuff will be provided by OSI layer only. It is only comparison purpose only people are writing, not exactly how it is created kind of stuff. So TCP IP is a older, OSI is came later. When you are comparing, so application layer, presentation layer, session layer is one application layer of TCP IP doing all these jobs. Application, presentation, session is all these works done by single application layer in TCP IP. The transport layer work is done in the same transport layer, but network layer is work done by internet layer. Only name is different. Network layer, here we call it as the internet layer. In this one, data link layer and physical layer is called a network access layer. Okay, so we tell an example. Hub is a physical layer, switch is a data link layer, router is a network layer. And where is this LAN card, NICs comes under? LAN card having MAC address. LAN card is connected to physical connectivity. Okay, it is also understand MAC address, right? So simply say it is network access layer. LAN card comes under network access layer. Of course, for LAN card we are giving an IP address, right? But no, actually we are not giving IP address to the LAN card. Just we are telling this is the interface and use this IP address. Okay, that layer is extracted. The network layer is little top of that part. Okay. Because if you go depth of networking, so you will get confused in the NIC and IP address part. So leave like that only. Okay. So these are the main thing. Each layer explanation is there, guys. I don't know how many people. So if I start all the layers, it will take a lot of time. This is a layer-wise troubleshooting. Also, layer-wise troubleshooting. Also available. That's it for today. Any doubts? Any questions? Please tell me. Already I shared this link. So if you have a time, you can go through it. Tomorrow class I will inform, same class, same timing only, or 3:30. So mostly class will be like a 3:30. Sai sir will take your class. I have to talk to him also. Already I informed. That's it. Anything guys? No one is speaking. Don't wait for others speak and answer question kind of stuff.
No, sir. Nothing else.